I hate to break the fishing news after Ramchuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep. All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Episode 234 of the Real Life Podcast. Hello, I'm Tyler Uremchuk, joined by Jay Wanye and Bag Milk. No one knows if Chalmers is doing it this week. He said he saw a moving truck that he was chasing after or something like that. Anyways, this episode brought to you by Oodle Noodle, as they all are. Episode 234. There are 14 locations of Oodle Noodle around the Edmonton area, and number 15 is coming. And also, when you eat an Oodle Noodle, you're supporting local. 10% of all in-store proceeds go towards a local charity. Jay, what's the charity right now?
The Shoebox Project.
There you go.
They provide gifts for women who are currently experiencing homelessness. So providing some cheer in a time of need.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Eat Oodle Noodle this weekend.
Now, I'd like to talk about Oodle Noodle for a brief second, Jay. I drove out to Fort Sask, and I was trying to guess where the location's going to go. Do we have a location picked out?
It's we're dealing on 2 right now and just waiting to confirm. So it's one of 2 locations.
My sister is very excited about it as a resident of Fort Saskatchewan.
We're very excited about it too.
Is it in the power centers? Maybe with all the other, like there's one that's really
nice. It'll be in one of the power centers.
Yeah,
they're just rival ones across the road from another. One we like better than the other. It just all depends. Sometimes Oodle Noodle's interesting because we feature we're Asian quick serve. So, other tenants can have like what's called a restrictive covenant. So say just a pure Chinese food restaurant is in a mall. They could have a restricted covenant blocking any other Chinese food restaurants from going into that same mall. But the thing with Oodle Noodle, because we're an Asian concept, but we feature so many different Asian cuisines like Japanese, Malaysian, Indian, Japan, Chinese. We can sometimes, depending how strict that covenant is, we can sometimes skate in because like 10% of our menu is only Vietnamese or, 15% of our menu is Chinese. So we're just going through the tap dance to try to make that happen. Maybe I revealed too much. That might be a trade secret. So whatever.
No, that's interesting. I always think about what Sonny used to tell us back in the day about the money vacuum. So we used to talk to him about like, where do we go find locations when we were scouting? And he said to us, he's got like a funny way of describing stuff. And he's like, go where all the busy restaurants are. Get me one right in the middle of all the locations. I'll open up the door and I'll turn on the money vacuum. In his mind, if anyone was congregating with a mind to eat dinner, he thought he had the best product and could take over everybody. So I was thinking, where do you go to put the money vacuum? In Fort Sask, the money vacuum is those new power centers.
Interesting. That's an interesting way to describe it. That's good confidence
there you go,
in your product.
You learned a little bit. If you take that information to Noodle King, I swear to you, you'll be working for oilfans.com quicker than you can say 1, 2, 3.
I was going to say.
Man, good pull.
Don't you take that shit to Noodle King. That's between us.
What's this, oilfans.com? Was that a rival website at some point?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know
that.
Not
around anymore?
It's still up. No, I'm looking at it right now. It's still up. It's basically, it's a forum, Tyler.
Yeah, whose birthday is it today? They always tell you top left.
Yep.
Former Oilers' birthdays and users.
I closed it.
Well, that's
nobody's birthday today.
No one's birthday in Oilers history. Whew.
Doesn't look like
people actually look at this website, huh? We shouldn't be giving it too much attention. Just go to OilersNation.com. That's all the Oilers content you need right there.
oilfans.com. I remember messaging them before Oilers Nation started, and I was like, is there any way we could work together? And they were like, fuck you. I'm like, okay. Well, I remember, Jay, we're like, one day we'll be as big, remember?
Everyone told us to fuck off.
Yeah. One day we'll be as big as Oil Fans. They were big. They still have people.
Oil Fans.
It's like a very dedicated forum, and like sometimes they'll have things up there really, really quickly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Oilfans.com, not an OnlyFans, right? It's not an OnlyFans thing.
OnlyFans.com/oilfans is a whole different thing.
Yeah. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. It's the gift everybody wants for Christmas, Tyler.
If you search oil on OnlyFans, you're going to, that is not about hockey, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have a special guest joining us in a little bit here. Quarantine Gun Guy. He is a legend online, and he is the first athlete to ever be sponsored by Nation Beer. athlete, you say? Yes, he shotguns beers, and that is his athletic event. I don't know when he's joining us. He has the Zoom link, and he'll just pop in at any moment now and do a shotgun. And you're probably sitting there thinking, why would I care about that? It's a podcast. But we might post this video online so you could watch it and also see our reactions. So that'll be interesting. Keep an eye out for that. And who knows, maybe we'll chat with him a little bit about why he decided to start doing this quarantine gun thing.
Also, shout out to, speaking of booze, shout out to, I finally got my rum from Dangerous Weight.
Yeah, I got my amaretto and my Zambuca too. It looks delicious.
What?
Yeah.
Your stuff is along with a pile of mail, Wanya, is sitting at your desk.
Well, hell's bells. I can't go in a little break. It's a damn, pandemic stuff.
I'm giving Quarantine Gun Guy the heads up to jump in.
What is this? He's going to come on here, chug a beer, and dip?
Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what he has in store for us.
Oh, I see. He's got something ready.
Well, I don't know. All I know is Quarantine Gun Guy is back because things are getting really serious and people are staying at home. So this is when kind of Quarantine Gun Guy comes out of hibernation. So he poked his head. He came back out last weekend and came out with a bang, I might say.
So he's just crushing nation beers on social.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Nation Beers when we can get him enough. I think he's out at the moment, so we got another delivery coming his way.
Well, when you crush them at the rate of Quarantine Gun Guy, they don't last very long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he'll have a day where he shoots 8 videos.
In his real life, I've seen Quarantine Gun Guy chug, and I myself consider myself to be quite a good chugger, and I would never go against him. And there's maybe 3 guys I know I wouldn't try against.
Yeah, he's
Mr.
good.
Burns, Jay. You know who that is.
Oh,
never go against Mr. Burns. He beat me in my own house.
God.
There was a guy who worked at our bar, and we called him Mr. Burns because his name was Burns. Very good. And he was our dish pit kid. And he's like, if I could out chug you, Wanya, I get to be a day bartender.
All right. Oh, okay. This is good. I'm gonna.
What?
Hello. Are you there?
Oh.
Quarantine Gun Guy, what's up?
Oh, that was derailed.
We need the video.
Hold on, I saw something. I heard Miley. Look at him.
How's it going?
Good. How are you, Gun Guy?
Hey.
What's he got going on?
Not much. I love the getup.
So how's the pod going so far, boys?
Well, it just got a lot sexier. You're packing some severe dick.
Like that?
Respect. Oh, yeah, you look great. Look at them pants.
Yeah,
this guy actually needs a pair of nutsacks.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Those
are your wife's pants.
Yeah, we share.
Whatever. You look great. What are you doing?
Living? Quarantining? Staying safe?
You got to stay. You got to.
Yeah, you bet.
You got to. What do you got in the background there? You got some Nation Beers, orange. I heard that you were our only sponsored athlete and we stopped sending you beer. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't going to bring that up, but since you did, that happened.
Yeah, so we just stopped sending you beer and yet congratulate ourselves as being your sponsor?
Well, the quarantine season, it was the off season, but now we're back into the quarantine season.
We are back.
So now the supply line is opened back up, so we'll be taking care of you going forward here.
Luckily, the liquor store by my house has them, so easy to grab them and bring them home and sip them down. Or gun them down, one of the two.
I think
now, Quarantine Gun Guy, your name is a mouthful. Do you have a nickname a shorter name we can call you by?
Nope. Quarantine Gun Guy. Well, QGG, but it's kind of,
Doesn't roll. Yeah.
I prefer the long one.
Tongue twister.
QGG. Yeah. In real life, Quarantine Gun Guy, and everything is real life. This podcast is called Real Life. You're one of the fastest chuggers I've ever seen. Like, it registers in my brain. Do not chug Quarantine Gun Guy. And I'm not scared of chugging against anyone. And I'm scared of you. Legit.
No, that's foolish.
Yes. No, because you've got the touch. You've got the touch, and it's willpower. You go there mentally.
It's all to do with the fact that there's just so long on this video, you have to get them down as quick as possible. So if you put yourself under that kind of pressure there, Wanye, I promise you'll be just as fast.
Quarantine Gun Guy, I view you as a sort of superhero. So what's the origin story here? How was Quarantine Gun Guy born?
I'm not much of a sitter on the couch kind of guy. I get kind of bored pretty quickly. So we were in quarantine, and everybody was watching movies, watching TV shows, searching the internet. I was bored. I had to get moving. So went outside. Well, first of all, I went into the closet, found my finest neon gear. Let's be honest, who doesn't like neon gear? Everybody.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I put on my wig, and
that's a wig.
What's that?
That's a wig, quarantine gun guy. I thought that was naturally occurring.
Yeah, COVID flow.
Yeah.
It's definitely quarantine gun guy's hair, but
yeah.
Anyways, I was started sending videos to my friends to stay connected because we couldn't see each other in person, and I got a couple laughs out of them. And then they started sending a couple back, and we kept doing it weekend after weekend, and here we are.
And you mentioned you have a wife. I believe you have kids as well. What do they think when dad is in the backyard shooting videos of himself gunning?
Yeah, that's a bit of a contentious one because the older kids have had enough. They're over it. But my 3-year-old daughter, she kind of thinks it's funny because she doesn't know any better. But and my wife tolerates it because I'm not inside hassling her, and she knows how crazy I get, stir crazy inside. So she lets me do my thing and carry on.
All right, are we gonna get a shotgun out of you here?
Only if you join me.
Okay, well, you got to give me a second. I need to go grab a beer if that's going to be the case here.
You're a hero.
Oh, way to step up.
Attaboy, you're Chuck.
You betcha.
Attaboy. Good to see you, quarantine gun guy. We're living, buddy. Pandemic. I'll tell you how it is. Everyone's staying home.
Are you going to join in the shotgun there, Wanye? Test your
I didn't
skills?
know. I didn't know that we were shotgunning beers. If I had a beer to be had in Wanye Manor, it'd be drank. You know how I do.
You're telling me Wanye Manor's dry.
She's beer free, and I drink all my booze.
Oh boy,
I'm running it just in time. Oh, 100%. There's no booze in this house. I drank it all long ago, and then if I go get it, I don't stop drinking it till it's gone.
That is an aggressive program you run. What if you get friends over?
In a quarantine? What are you, mad?
Backyard? Can't have friends in the backyard?
Not according to Dr. Dina Hinshaw.
Oh, groups of 10.
Jay, your excuse?
Well, I am at Little Brick, and I do have access to alcohol.
Well, there you are.
Oh, join us for the party.
Jeez, I can't be called out by quarantine gun guy not delivering.
No.
Damn you.
He's an institution. Quarantine
Dude.
gun guy, I wanted to talk about how when we went to Winnipeg and I was your caddy at the Canadian Amateur.
Yes,
but we're not talking about normal life. Are we talking about real life, or are you quarantine gun guy?
Yeah, whatever you choose. All I remember is your caddy bib number.
Remember when we went to that nightclub and I picked up the waitress?
Wow.
Yes, I do remember that. Yep.
You remember that? That was really cool because normally I don't look cool. And I looked cool in front of you guys. And I was like, man, quarantine gun guy for the rest of the time. You might have shot 10 under or whatever at the Canadian Amateur. But I picked up the waitress.
Can I just do
You
it?
definitely did.
What's the rule to follow?
It was all because the caddy bib was the love number that you got. So can't complain.
When you're rolling with high performance athletes, there's like a glow around them for real. And I was in your orbit.
The other voice you're hearing right now is Jay going through the cafe to get himself a Nation beer right now.
I'm ordering a Nation beer as we speak.
Can you mute it, Home Slice? We're having a show. Oh, well, it looks good.
It's real life. I thought it would include everyone on the journey for me to get a beer for this.
That's fair.
It's quiet inside, which is expected. There's some activity going on outside. Good. Thank you, Carmen. I've got the silver can.
Nice.
Nice. You can chuck in that Pepsi, Wanye, if you want.
My little club soda?
Club soda, yeah.
You're just sipping a club soda, hey?
Hey, man.
Quarantine gunning does not have to be a alcoholic beverage. This is for everybody.
It doesn't? Oh, I can get a soda.
It's all about bringing people together, right?
You betcha.
For people listening to this,
staying safe.
Yeah. For people listening to this, it is a podcast. So right now you're probably going, this is confusing. Don't worry. We will do our best to get the video. Life is confusing. We'll do the best to get this video up on our YouTube. We'll share some clips of this on our Instagrams and our Twitters as well. But we're going back into sort of quarantine 2.0 here. So no better way to kick it off than with quarantine gun guy himself.
I have sorry, Remjack. I have no video of this quarantine gun guy, but I'm still going to chug one because once you've been someone's caddy, you always take orders from the boss.
Yep, that works for me.
If you want me to drink and no one needs to know, I need you to know, boss.
What a team player you are, Wanye.
Hey, That's how did we make the cut? How did we do that week? Did we make the cut at the amateur quarantine gun guy?
I don't think we're going to talk about that right now, Wanya.
Of course. Well, I don't want to.
So we're
on the eve of a new athletic championship. Here we go.
Yeah.
So we're not screwing around. We're shotgun and tallies. Like we're going heavy.
Ollies.
That's the Nation
You
Beer
think
way.
I'm gonna
All right.
You think I'm going to come on an Oilers Nation podcast and not shotgun an Oilers Nation beer? You're nuts.
Yeah.
The hero of our
But
generation.
I want everyone to know that we're coming correct and we're going tall boys.
Everybody
Like,
has got a beer that I see. Wanya's making himself a drink. Quarantine gun guy armed and ready.
I'm having a soda water Nation radio.
Oh, I'm just poking here, but I'm scared because I'm in the office and I don't want to have a champagne birthday all over the place.
Well, I record these podcasts on my couch, so I have like a towel laid
God,
across my lap,
I'm
and I'm
dumping
really
beer
nervous.
everywhere.
Just call your
Oh,
lap
boy.
your clap.
Yeah,
Where's Chalmers?
Good question.
Chalmers is chasing a moving truck.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
he's like a Pomeranian.
Yeah.
We
He
asked
would have
him
wussed
to,
out anyways.
Hey, your Remchuk,
Yep.
do a screen grab here of the gun guy and I.
Oh yeah.
If you can.
Get his southern hemisphere in the shot if you catch my drift. Those pants are spectacular.
Well, it's clearly not that cold outside, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
you know
worked
what I'm
up
saying.
a bit
Yeah.
for you guys. I'm a bit excited to be on the show.
Quarantine gun guy.
We got to get this guy a pair of nutsacks.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Everyone ready? 3,
All right.
2.
Stay
Oh,
together.
quarantine gun guy, you count us down.
Stay together. Stay apart. Remember, support your local businesses, local restaurants, Oodle Noodle. Stay together, and let's gun beers, boys. Woo!
Look at that.
How'd we do?
Oh, good. That was delicious.
Yeah.
That's the much needed shot in the arm I needed this afternoon to really kick some ass.
So fizzy.
That should get you through right till 5.
Whew. Yeah, that felt
So
good.
what's your record, quarantine gun guy, for recorded guns in a day?
12.
Come on.
Wow.
And he still walks this earth. to
That's
tell the
alarming.
story.
Well, no, that was over about 12-hour shift, and there was no in-betweenies either. So
Okay.
1 per hour is not too bad.
That's how a
Oh,
pro
no, that's a
talks.
safe pace. That's a
When
safe
you
pace.
talk down drinking 12 beers in a sesh by no in-betweensies and you diminish your own achievement, you know you're dealing with a real pro.
Okay, Wanye, how many beers have you drank on a 5 till 2 a.m. shift at the Pint?
Oi, oi, oi. Well, I don't shotgun them, though. You're a legend. I am not even remotely in your level of professionalism here. You're a quarantine gun
12,
guy.
I dare say. One thing I want to get out there, Tyler, if you don't mind.
Yep. The floor is yours.
I get a lot of joy out of sending these videos out, kind of crafting them up, sending them because I see my friends return me videos on Snapchat saying how much fun it is, and they do their own kind of skit, if you will.
Yeah.
I haven't got many returns on Twitter, and I'm really kind of lacking on the Twitter replies of shotgunning videos. I don't know if they're worried about the internet seeing them shotgun a video, but I wouldn't mind any of your viewers to send me videos of them shotgunning. They don't have to make anything crazy. It doesn't have to be beer. It could be a club soda like Wanya likes to drink. But
It was painful, full disclosure.
any videos coming back,
Okay.
those are greatly appreciated, and they'll definitely put a smile on my face. So
And the show,
all the
too,
smiles
right?
I can get in
Send us stories, too, gang. We'll regram them.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
I
make
think-
sure we keep sharing what he does on our channels, because you're trying to bring joy and you're trying to build a community, which is exactly what we're all about. So
Yeah.
you bet.
I love what you're doing, quarantine gun guy, because it provides a little bit of entertainment for us on the weekends when we need it the most.
Yeah,
That's
quarantine gun
important.
guy. I know this Oilers Nation fan base pretty well, and they are loyal. If we tell them to send you videos of them shotgunning, they will most certainly do it. I believe during an Oilers playoff game, I sent out the call for people to shotgun for good luck. The Oilers lost the game, but people still did it. And I'll get a video out to you as well right away.
Well, I think the
Maybe
happiness
more
that all the
smiles?
boys...
What's that?
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, quarantine gun guy.
The more smiles, the better. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah.
We need it all.
If
in
the
quarantine.
listeners of real life can get the happiness the boys get from you doing it, I think you've done us all a great service, quarantine gun guy.
Awesome.
And they get to look at that package.
That's what I said, Chalmers.
There's Chalmers.
I led with, wow,
buddy.
you're packing dick. That was my first comment to Quarantine Gun Guy.
Last podcast, there was a bunch of sexual innuendos. Now you're talking about my dick. I just don't quite understand here where this is going.
It's always on my mind, just like the song. You are always on my mind.
It's funny. He was tap dancing. He was tap dancing around everything else last week, but he went direct for the dick this week.
Yeah.
Well, you got called out.
How long have they been making you sit? How long have they been making you stand outside like that? I see you moving around a lot. You getting a little cold?
If you joined the pod a little earlier when you're supposed to, I was talking about how I'm not very good at standing still, sitting around. So I'm always moving, and that was the whole premise around getting the Quarantine Gun Guy going. So.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't come a little earlier. I had work things to attend to, but now I'm all in. What are we gunning? Have you already gunned yet? Come on.
Yeah, we already gunned.
We just did.
God damn it!
I
let you go, Quarantine Gun
Guy.
Before we let you go, Quarantine Gun Guy, could you gun one more and do the full spiel? Give us the whole thing. We'll stay uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Show everyone the whole Quarantine Gun Guy display experience. Exactly. Oh, he's taking us on set. I like it.
This is great. I like the hill as well. I wonder if we'll get to see
the
toboggan.
His slide in the last video honestly made me laugh out loud. I watched it like 5 or 6 times.
Here we go.
We're here, Snow Mountain. Remember, everyone, back to quarantine. Everybody stay safe, stay inside. But you know what? We can still stay connected over the internet. Let's shotgun beers, quarantine, send it to our friends, and have a laugh. Here we go.
He's the hero we deserve.
He is. He truly is. What a beautiful video.
Oh, yeah.
Throws the can, tarp comes off, and he slides on his stomach down the snow hill.
Like a penguin.
What a king. What an absolute king. Quarantine Gun Guy, we thank you for giving us some good laughs on a Thursday afternoon.
Thanks for having me, boys.
You stay safe, Quarantine Gun Guy.
You too, fellas.
See you again soon, buddy.
All right, there you go. That was Quarantine Gun Guy joining us on the Real Life Podcast. Again, we'll get some videos up of that bad boy because it was hilarious. I really hope that translated well to podcasts. At time, it may have sounded like nonsense, but we were having a great time. So I'm not going to apologize too much for it. That was a lot of fun. And shotgunning that beer nice and early in the afternoon felt good as well.
I feel a little gassy now, if I'm being honest.
You can keep hearing guys burping throughout the podcast right now. I've been trying to silence them a little bit. Chalmers, how's it going? You missed out on your chance to quarantine or shotgun with Quarantine Gun Guy.
I know. This is my least favorite American Thanksgiving Thursday I've had in years. My American Thanksgiving usually I turn my phone off at around 9 o'clock and I meet my buddies at the Pint or Hudson's or a pub, and we watch football all day and we get drunk. And it's been a tradition for quite a while, and this one sucks.
Well, did you have the over in the Texans-Lions game?
That is a big over. Crushed it.
Yeah, but I had it parlayed with the Lions.
Whoopsies.
Oof, that's not good.
Whoopsies.
No, it's not good. How's the Zoom dynamic going?
Pretty good, actually. I've heard we did one Oilers Nation radio on Zoom, and I heard it worked pretty well. And I heard the audio quality could potentially be a little bit better. I'm going to study it a little bit more after this episode of Real Life, but I think it's going pretty good. We're going to be joined by Scott Hastings in 10 minutes. And just to tell you guys this right now, he doesn't have Zoom. So when Scott Hastings joins us, we have to exit out of Zoom and come back on FaceTime. So we'll be doing that right away.
Who doesn't have Zoom? It's a link you click.
He said he would download the app, and I was like, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. We'll deal with it another day.
I literally didn't have Zoom until 4 minutes ago.
Oh.
It took me like 13 seconds to get.
I feel I have a vendetta against Skype because my Skype always hangs up on people when I'm talking to them.
I feel like Skype should have a vendetta against Skype because they dropped the ball in the pandemic in a way that I had never imagined.
Who did we talk to about this? Didn't Nation Dan say it's like a security issue with Skype? I don't know. But yeah.
My kids do their music lessons over Skype, and it's the one thing we never can figure out.
It's confusing.
Always different. It's always hard.
Yeah.
We always
That's what
lose
she
like
said.
5 minutes of the meeting.
Always hard.
always
The
hard.
quarantine gun guy story.
It's always hard to get. It's always hard to get going right off the bat.
Quarantine gun guy. It's not polite to point. When you see the video, you'll know.
Okay, there's one thing I wanted to talk with you guys about before we get to Scott Hastings from OddsShark that's coming up in just a second. Actually, two things I want to talk about. The first thing is how freaking comfortable my nutsack underwear is now that it's finally on my body.
This,
yeah. Hey, Beg Milk, these matching colors too.
That's a good visual. Record that.
Jeez Louise.
Man, that I don't know.
This isn't your OnlyFans, Bag Milk. Not everybody wants to see in your
we
yins.
shotgunned a beer. We're a little loose, okay? It's okay.
It is.
The nutsacks are on.
That was a free preview of OnlyFans.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Drink it in,
below
Tyler.
to subscribe.
Thank you for your
Anyways,
subscription, by the way, people.
check out twigandberries.ca. I can now personally attest that their underwear nutsack is very, very comfortable. And they got more than that. I'm wearing this very sharp hat with the leather Twig and Berries logo. I love it. It's instantly in my high rotation of hats. I have a lot of hats, but there's an elite few that are like everyday rotation hats. This one is one of them. They sent me a t-shirt as well. T-shirt's super comfortable. So check them out. Oh yeah, super soft. twigandberries.ca. If you use the promo code NATION15, you get 15% off your order. Also, if there's that one guy in your life who's very hard to buy gifts for, maybe it's a dad, a significant other, a brother, you just go to twigandberries.ca. You get the holiday gift box. It's over $175 worth of stuff for $150. It's like a wallet, a pair of socks, a shirt, a hoodie, a pair of their nutsack underwear as well. All this stuff in there. It's just one stop, bang. You're done your Christmas shopping just like that. So check them out. twigandberries.ca.
I'm gonna sound old here, but you know who else had a lot of hats?
Who?
Harriet?
The Fresh Prince.
Harriet.
Was it Harriet?
Magic hat.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was going. Anyone remember Harriet's magic hats?
Damn right I do.
Oh, the children's show was fantastic. It was this chest of hats and just adventure ensued anytime you chose a hat out of the chest.
You'd go somewhere new every time.
Could Surveyor Brett, who we have, I believe this is the official announcement. Wanye, what's Surveyor Brett's new title with the podcast?
What are you on, the director of memes?
Director of meme content, Surveyor Brett.
Yeah.
If you can get one of me as this chest of magic hats guy, what's it called?
Harriet's Magic Hats.
All right.
Oh, jeez. You're
Were you even paying attention for early 80s CBC?
Yeah, I feel sorry for your childhood. Like you're so miseducated or uneducated. Harriet had a lot of valuable lessons.
1999 or some shit though. He wasn't even alive for it.
Like he doesn't even understand the science and sleuthing learned from the Edison twins.
No, I don't.
PBS, you never learned how like square one and shit? You ever watch any of that?
Nope.
Oh,
yeah. Damn my
How do you know
youth,
math?
hey?
How do you know Pythagorean's theorem? How do you understand anything of the science and math?
Pythagorean's theorem's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? No, that's not Pythagorean's theorem. That's how you.
It is.
Oh, it
That
is.
is. Yeah.
Okay,
Two
I
sides of
nailed
a
it.
triangle.
I'm like, you nailed it. I was like, kind of
Fibonacci
disappointed.
sequence.
Ooh, 1, 1, 2, 3. Eureka!
See, he knows the old shows.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, I got it. I know. I favor the old gods and the new, as they say in Game of Thrones.
Okay, so a couple things. We got a lot of DMs on two topics from our last show. One of them was when we were talking about all the countries where we've had exactly one listener in, and Bryce DM'd us on Twitter and said, "I'm a huge fan of the pod. Can safely say I'm the one that downloaded in Italy and the Netherlands. Couldn't miss an episode when I was on my honeymoon. Wanye is my all-time favorite on the show. Super smart, says whatever the hell he wants. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Love it. Love how off the rails it can get at times. If he likes off the rails episodes, he's going to enjoy this one."
I love that he was on his honeymoon downloading real life.
There was some
I'm his favorite. What's his name?
Bryce on Twitter. His at handle is CYSOUW18.
Yes.
Oh,
I've seen
I
that
know.
name.
Bryce, you son of a bitch! I have played outdoor hockey with you, and you chose Wanye as your favorite. Oh, that's
super smart, man. I don't know what to tell
That's
you.
crazy Kraka's. That's crazy Kraka's good buddy.
Another DM I got was from KN Zenter on Instagram. He said, "Hey, homie, send me that questionnaire from Nation Real Life. I legit fall asleep listening to your podcast daily. It's had a super positive impact on my ability to decompress each day." So he wants, well, there you go.
That's really nice, man.
Yeah, that's really nice. At first I was like, oh, we put you to sleep. But as someone who like needs to watch TV before he falls asleep, I totally understand the value of having a good nighttime routine piece of entertainment. But he mentioned the questionnaire, and you weren't on the pod on Monday, Wanye, but my idea is that every Monday now we're going to do like a listener shout out spotlight where we're going to get to know one of our listeners a little bit better. So what I want to know from you guys is what should be on our questionnaire that we send to the listeners. I'm thinking like, so we get their name, maybe we get like what they do for work or what they're going to school for or something like that as number 2.
I want to know where they're listening. Where they're listening.
You guys started interrupting. You talked about where markets that listen to the show last show?
Yeah.
Oh, we're the number 1 hockey podcast in Peru, Wanye.
It's true.
Suck on that.
So I'm thinking of other things that I should put on the listener questionnaire. Like, should we have favorite real life moment, favorite Oilers moment, maybe?
Is Wanye your favorite? If so, explain why he's so amazing. If not, please end survey.
Interesting.
Yeah. Are you subscribed to Bag Milk's OnlyFans?
To make it commercial, because anyone we feature will send a free box of Oodle Noodle to. We should ask what their favorite Oodle Noodle dish is.
That's a good call too. Yeah. So
also, I would ask, how horny are you? 1 to 10.
12.
There you go.
always a full 12.
Got the juices going, you know.
That's what I'm talking about.
So we're gonna go.
The horniness index the last week was 7.
Tyler, we never asked you what is your. You ask everybody else what's your go-to at Oodle Noodle.
I said it. I was the first one to say it. I like the. Damn it! Now I'm forgetting it. What's it called? The beef. Teriyaki beef. Ginger beef.
Yeah.
Ginger beef's my favorite.
My favorite noodle on this podcast was bloody quarantine gun guy packing that rope. My God in heaven. That's going to stick with me for a little while.
All right.
See the picture of Greg Norman?
Yeah, I did see the picture of Greg Norman. That was a little disturbing.
What happened?
What happened?
He's
like
just
got a
60,
huge hog.
How old is he? He's 68 years old. He's walking down the beach with his dog barefoot, just ruling this earth.
Yeah.
And he's got a 6-pack and a swim trunks on. And the caption is, looks
Holy
like somebody.
Hell.
Whoa!
Wow.
Welcome to the rope team. Holy cow.
You just stepped all over my joke. The caption was, somebody's been playing with 15 clubs this whole time.
Jesus, Murphy.
Holy cow. This guy needs a reinforced pair of nutsacks.
Greg Norman does rule the earth, man. Honest to God. He didn't
fucking
pick up
guy's
a club.
a tripod.
He didn't pick up a club till he was 20, and 1 year later, he was a scratch golfer.
He's an absolute unit. Holy cow.
Yeah, his life is amazing. He just it's on a Tuesday and he's like swimming with the dolphins in like southern Australia. And then the next day he's at like a vineyard just sipping fine red wines. And he just lives the life, man.
He's the real James Bond. Honest to God. Look at that rig.
He should be the next James Bond.
He's the Jujar Kara of beaches.
Oh, he should be James
Remember
Bond's
his
dad.
logo? Remember his cool shark logo for his gear and shit?
Yeah, someone recreated it to make it look like a massive penis.
His house in Australia, one of his houses, I think he has a couple, has that logo at the bottom of his giant pool.
Wow.
So there's like no mistaking whose pool this is. It's the shack.
Does it hurt his resale value though?
No, man. He's the king of Australia. Remember that hat he used to wear? That style of hat?
Oh, I had one. I was like 13 and I had to have it because he was the man. Now,
he invented a style of hat. That's next level shit. Original Yeezys.
Tastemaker galore. So I don't know if anyone follows Paige Sparanik or Sparanich. I don't know how you pronounce it on social. She's a female pro golfer, very attractive. She sent out a comment to that photo saying, "Greg the Shark Norman, more like Hammerhead Shark."
What?
So
sorry, I butchered it.
When you go to Google Greg Norman now, here are the first 6 suggestions when you Google Greg Norman. Greg Norman beach, Greg Norman picture, Greg Norman beach photo, Greg Norman wife, Greg Norman hammerhead, Greg Norman beach shot.
Kids who don't even know who Greg Norman is. They're like, Greg Norman, the dick guy? That dick guy was the #1 golfer in the world for 10 years, not named Tiger Woods.
Oh, man.
Like, is that real or is that superimposed?
Listen,
It'd be,
I don't know. It is just.
If you're listening to this podcast, go Google the photo of Greg Norman.
Yeah.
Just do it so you're in on the
respond
joke.
on our photo, on our latest Instagram post, with how many dick emojis out of 10 that is.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, it's a sizable eggplant here, is what we've got going on.
Chalmers is very mad that you guys stepped all over his joke.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I've got I like that. I like that I can say, "Did you see the picture of Greg Norman?" And you guys go on about it for fucking 8 minutes.
Well, we didn't see the dick before.
Didn't
You
see
already
that.
had time
You
to
got-
process the dick.
Yeah, that was an honest testimonial there, like pure organic. Like, wow.
Everyone shotgunned a beer. I had a soda water. I'm hammered.
Hammerhead Shark. Matt Stafford just got sacked. I'm watching this football game live.
Well, the game's still on.
Yeah, it's 41-25 right now for Houston. They just crushed the over. So I'm going to win some money, which fires me up. All right. We are going to talk a little bit more football right now, and we're going to bring in our friend Scott Hastings. So, that part of the podcast is going to start here. For those listening, I am going to now pause. We are going to flip back over to FaceTime and continue recording. So we'll be right back, everybody. All right, we're all settled up on FaceTime now. We're going to bring in our friend Scott Hastings from OddsShark. OddsShark.com, your spot for sports gambling information, sports betting information, all the info you need. They got the supercomputer. They got all that kind of stuff going there. It makes you a smarter better, which does not roll off the tongue. It's also not their ad tagline. I just kind of made it up. But Scott Hastings joins us on the podcast. Scott Hastings.
I like the one that you did, though, Tyler, where you said make yourself a better with OddsShark.
OddsShark.com, make yourself a better.
Okay.
Can you pitch that to the higher up, Scott?
Well, and if you miss some bets, you could be a better.
Okay.
Ooh, exactly.
Before we get into anything of seriousness, Scott Hastings, have you seen the photo of Greg Norman walking on the beach?
I have not seen this.
Oh, boy.
All right. Google it if you can right now. Honest reaction.
I'm so sorry we're doing this to you, Scott.
We bring him into it. We drag him into the mud.
It's it auto-populated on Google, so that's always
Yeah.
Guy's absolutely shredded. Holy cow.
Yeah, but
He's on the roids, so
look at his hog.
Okay, so it was only an image from waist up, and then I went into images, and he's doing all right. Dog is nice there too. How about the dog? Right?
Oh, great dog.
Yeah, very handsome dog.
Scott, so far on this podcast today, we have talked about Greg Norman's hog, and we've all shotgunned a beer on the air. So that's where we're all at right now on our day. Also, there's been football on, so I've been very excited about that.
Tyler, I want to jump in with my rookie betting question of the week to start, because Scott Chalmers, he lost on a parlay today. I've never done a parlay. I'm the rookie here. Is there such a thing as a rookie's parlay? An entry level kind of dip your toe in the parlay game. Is there such a thing? Does that exist?
Yeah, I think the best approach would be the teasers. We've talked about those before. I think that's a good entry level parlay because you get some wiggle room of gaining a few points that, of course, you lose out on some of the chalk that you would be laying there, or some of the juice, I should say. But at least it's a good level to get experience in choosing more than one game and getting them all correct. Another good option is combo plays. I like to do combo plays from time to time, and that's where you could choose, 5 games or whatever, and combo it to 2 or 3, and that gives you the ability that you could win as long as you win more than one of your bets. You will get a payout. You may not make your money back, but at least you will get something back. So at least those are the 2 options I would go with as a rookie parlay betting. Or you could just go ham, bet all 8 games, and just go for it. Whatever.
Yeah, roll the dice.
Yeah, go dive headed first. Yeah, you're gonna get your feet wet. You might as well go swimming.
Yeah, that's right. And what kind of beers did you guys shotgun?
Nation beers. Our beers. There you go.
Okay.
We have our own beer here in Alberta.
Nice.
We'll have to ship. Actually,
We should
Write
ship
that
you
down.
some.
We'll ship you out some.
I'm right.
Hell yeah.
I'm on it.
We'll have one of our episodes. We'll have a beer while we prognosticate.
That'd be
all over it.
That'd be a good Christmas time one because we like to get loose around Christmas.
As an addendum to this, I was driving and I did not shotgun a beer. Just
good man.
That's true.
Responsible.
Chalmers was not on the
only one
podcast
actually working today.
I only drink Ryan Cokes in the truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just kidding.
He's joking.
He's joking,
Red Bulls,
everybody.
He meant Red Bull.
Joking, everybody.
All right. So first football game on Thanksgiving Thursday is over. Did you win, Scott? Did you nail it? I had the over in the Texans. I'm thrilled right now.
I split. I had the under and the Texans. So I was expecting Detroit's defense to not miss 100 tackles. I thought they would at least make one or two, but apparently that was not in the mandate there. Monday and Tuesday practice hitting was not on the schedule. So it was a pretty disappointing performance by Detroit, but I'll take the split, I guess.
Okay, actually, before we get into NFL, I saw you had this up at OddsShark.com, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones. I heard today on the radio when I was driving to work that some of the rules for this fight, it doesn't feel like it's going to be a real fight, but can you still bet on it even though there isn't going to be a winner declared? Like if someone wants to get in on Tyson versus Roy Jones, what can they do?
Yeah, well, for one, I would recommend the fight before that in Nate Robinson, former NBA guard for the Bulls, and a three-time slam dunk champion. He's fighting Jake Paul, the YouTuber, whom I don't really know much about, but hell yeah, that's actually going to be a legit fight, and they're going to throw down, so that's going to be quite entertaining.
Well, and just to piggyback on that, Paul is like 6'5", and Nate Robinson is what, like 5'6"?
Yeah, it's a big discrepancy.
And Logan, whatever the dumb YouTuber's name is, I hate the guy so much. But he's legit had fights before too.
Yeah.
Like he's trained, so
he knows how to throw a jab, and that's what. Whenever I break down these, I don't want to say amateur bouts because they're considered a pro fight, but some of these sort of white collar fights. Yeah, celebrity fights. If you know how to throw a jab, you will win that fight. It's some of these guys that just go in there winging from the hips, and they look completely hideous. If you can throw a jab, you'll win the fight. Anyways, back to the main event. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. So the WBC, which is the World Boxing Council, they are putting a belt on the line, and they are having 3 celebrity judges judge the fight remotely. So there is going to be a winner. Bovada has odds up for the fight who's going to win, but they have the caveat that there has to be a winner declared at the venue. So there is going to be a winner. I don't know if it's going to be announced right away. So it's difficult. There's other props that you can bet on, such as which fight will go longer, that fight or the Jake Paul fight. I would go with the Mike Tyson fight going longer because it's going to be a hard sparring session. So I don't think they're going for the knockouts. If you can get a bet on the over, take the over. I got it at plus money. So 12-ounce gloves, 2-minute rounds. They're told not to go for the knockouts, so just take the over and walk away.
You think Tyson's going to honor that rule?
I do, because Andy Foster's the California State Athletic Commissioner that's allowing this fight, and he strictly told them not to go for the knockout. If he was to go in there and starch him, which he definitely could, but tracking down Roy Jones is not easy to do. But if he went to do that, he would not be able to fight in the States again. He wouldn't get licensed because the commissions all sort of work together. And if you were to double cross the commission, that'd be the end of it. So I really don't think that happens.
Fascinating.
And just as another note, it looks like I just Googled Jake Paul. It looks like he's trying to get a fight going with Floyd Mayweather. So good luck with that one, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You get dummy.
Yeah. The thing about it, though, is as mentioned, he's a large man. So they would never commission the fight because Floyd, when he fought Conor McGregor, he had his shoes on, sweatpants, probably a weighted vest, and still only weighed 150 pounds. Like they wouldn't commission it because the weight difference would be so large.
I'm sure that's something where you're just looking for the payday too, right? Like if you're going out there and like, I'm going to fight Floyd Mayweather, like you're definitely just looking to cash in here.
Hell yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah, I would too. put a couple schmill on the line, I would sit in the ring with a bear.
He just tags you 400 times as he always does, and that's still hey, collect that paycheck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hopefully you can remember spending it.
All right, let's talk a little NFL here as we head into Week 12. Not going to spend any time on the Cowboys-Washington game because by the time this podcast is up and people are listening to it, that game's pretty much going to be done.
But how did we do last week, though?
How did we do last week? Well, let's get to the pick 'em in a bit. I want to break down the slate a little bit with Scott Hastings first. The COVID stuff that's going on. The Ravens game's been pushed. The Browns are closing down their facilities again. When you see things like that come up, are you learning to just not touch a COVID game from a betting perspective? Are you betting against the team with the outbreak? Is there any way to look at these, or is it just kind of like meh, whatever?
Yeah. So first and foremost, you got to know what players go down. So if it's just a few practice squad players, no disrespect to them, but it's not going to really impact the game. Now Baltimore has J.K. Dobbins going down and the like. So that becomes a little more interesting because now you're talking legit starter players that really impact the game. But we've saw Cam Newton went down and the Patriots were still competitive. I believe they were without Cam when they played KC, which was a tight game until the final 10 minutes of that one. So I don't know. It's sort of tricky. I do hesitate to bet on the games, but from what I've been looking at in retrospect is the players don't seem to have much of an impact in the final score. They've almost played out the way I've expected them to. So I don't know. It's tricky. I hesitate to bet on them, but they've been playing out sort of normal. So it's weird.
Interesting. I'm on OddsShark.com right now looking at some of the other games. I'm a guy, I like watching the Kansas City Chiefs play football. How can you not? That offense is so exciting. And usually when I'm watching a team, I'm betting on them. And I like betting on the Kansas City Chiefs. Heading into this matchup against the Bucs. For the Chiefs, it wasn't exactly a letdown last week against the Raiders, but they didn't cover the spread. How are you looking at this game against Tom Brady, who, it might not be talked about enough how not great he was on Monday, Sunday. But what do you think of that matchup there, Brady and the Bucs against Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Yeah, and Tom for the whole year has sort of looked not. Maybe the age is getting to him. Of course, they're still putting. It's hard for him not to put up a pile of points with all that offense around him. So I think he's sort of been protected. I'll say protected with just the wealth of talent around him. That I don't know. Tampa Bay is a really tricky team to bet on because they can go out and drop 40 and nobody would blink an eye because that would make sense. But then they go and play the Saints and get held to 3 points. Very, very tricky team. I do like the Chiefs to win this game, and I do like them to cover. But it's not one of the games that I'm in love with just because Tampa Bay, they're just so tricky to me. They almost remind me of the Bears, but with a better offense. It's the Bears were a team that how many times we spoke about that. Are they for real? And they kept winning games. Now they lost a handful in a row. We're like, oh yeah, that's the Bears. We won it.
If no one else has any other questions on the Week 12 slate, I think we can get to our pick'em for the week. And Scott Hastings, you're going to like our pick'em this week because you went a perfect 3-0 last week, nailing Vegas plus 7.5. You had the Jets and the Chargers going over. You had Denver plus 3.5 as well. So since we started doing this, your record 12-6. So if you're a listener of this podcast, it might not be a bad idea to start, tuning into what Scott Hastings says every Thursday and his 3 picks for the week. As for us, we went over this a little on Monday, but Chalmers, you had Green Bay plus 2. I missed with KC minus 7.5. Jay, you missed with New England minus 2. Bag Milk, you had Cleveland minus 3. That one hit, correct? Yes. Did Green Bay hit? No, Green Bay lost, right?
No, Green Bay lost.
Green Bay lost. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. So Bag Milk is the only one that hit. The rest of us were all wrong. Once again, the expert goes 3-0, and we go 1-3. But anyways, new week. Time to redeem ourselves. So let's get to our pick'em here. I'll start with you, Chalmers.
Okay, I think I'm on an 0-3 streak right now.
Yep.
It's because I'm trying to be cute and it's not fun. And so I'm going to chalk. I'm gonna start doing some things that are obvious, and that would be taking the Kansas City Chiefs minus the 3.5. 10. I'm gonna look the whole Kansas City's best team in the league. it's old versus new. I just don't see how it's only a 3.5 point spread.
I have dropped my last 2 picks, so not great for me. I shall go next. There's actually a lot of games on this slate I kind of like, and I think I'll be betting on. Like, I don't mind the Rams -7 even. I don't mind the Browns either. But where I am going to go, coming off their bye week, my boys, the Buffalo Bills. -5.5 right now against the Chargers. I don't love that Chargers team, and I think the Bills, rested coming off their bye, are going to be fired up. That game is in Buffalo, I believe, as well. So, I mean, LA, warm weather team going to a cold weather city. I like Buffalo -5.5 points.
After what Deshaun Jackson just did today, I think it's going to be tough now, but I thought that Josh Allen was going to be number 1 QB this week. And, I mean, he still could be, but that was a hell of a performance by Deshaun Watson. I think I just said Jackson, but I meant Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
All right, next up on the list here, it is Jay. So, Jay, where are you going?
Well, I should have stuck with my Brownies last week, but I just don't want to be the guy that always says the Browns, even though we know the Browns beat every bad team they play. And they're playing Jacksonville, and they suck. And 7 points is not that much. So I'll always tell you to vote. To vote. Yes, you should always vote.
You should always vote.
Always vote. Please do. But you should definitely vote. Jesus Christ, do it again. You should definitely bet on Cleveland. But I'm going to go different here. Arizona only -1.5 against New England. I just think that's once again, that's probably one of those fishy ones, because to me that is just like the biggest flashing green light I have seen all season. So I'm probably wrong. So probably fade me, but I'm going Arizona -1.5.
All right, Mr. Bagged Milk, you've got 2 straight wins under your belt. Who are you going with?
So going last sucks.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna pick KC, and then I was gonna pick Arizona, but those are off the board. So I'm gonna go Miami at -7 over the New York Jets.
All right, there we go.
You're doing your homework. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep up.
If you want a 4-game, just go all money line. Go Giants, Miami, Cleveland, Arizona.
Whew. Giants, Miami, Cleveland.
Chalky, greasy money line parlay.
Yeah, Joe Osborne would be proud of that one.
Bag Milk, you want a beginner parlay? Just throw 2 shekels at that, and then talk to me on Monday and see how it went.
When you get 3 shekels back.
Yeah.
Scott Hastings, you are up, my man. 3 picks this week. Who are you going with?
Well, I'm glad that Bag Milk took Miami there, because my best bet of the week is the New York Jets +7. So I'm going to look to go 3-0 against you guys, because I'm now 2-0. I took down Jay, took down Tyler. Bag Milk, you're next on my list. So I've got the Jets +7, and I think he had the really good game against Arizona. His other showings have just been mediocre or bad. I'll call it like it is. I like Tua. I just don't think he's been good. He got back 6 times last week, and then we saw Fitzmagic come back in there. So that can't be good for his confidence. I know the Jets are awful, but they've been showing some signs of life with Joe Flacco under center. So yeah, give me the Jets +7. What else are we going to go here? I did like Arizona, but I also liked New England last week. So Jay, you and I can't go on the same path here. So I'm going to avoid that one.
Thank you.
I like Minnesota at home, giving up 4 to Carolina. I don't know what Carolina is going to go with quarterback, and I don't believe an XFL star is going to look good 2 weeks in a row if he is in fact under center. That was PJ Walker that got the late notice start last week. So I like Minnesota. They had the letdown game against Dallas. I do expect them to bounce back. And it does look like Adam Thielen's back in the lineup after getting the COVID scare early in the week. So Minnesota -4. And let's go with the Monday Nighter. And anytime I can vote or bet against the Eagles, I will do so. And I am taking the Seahawks -5.5 on the Monday Nighter. The Eagles are just completely and utterly trash. And let Russ cook. They're going to come out in a big way and just slam Philadelphia. So give me the points on that one. Seattle -5.5.
All right,
Yeah,
there you go.
The line seems too small on that. Like
it does.
Like Philly sucks.
Yes, they do.
Add them onto your money line parlay.
Yeah, absolutely. Seattle's lost a couple games, so I get it, and they're traveling West Coast to East Coast. So that's why you'll see some of these somewhat. Same with Arizona. That line's low, but they're traveling across the country. I get it, but I am phased. I don't like the Eagles, and I hope they lose by 30.
All right.
Line 30.
Here are the picks again. If you want the recap, we got Chalmers going KC -3.5. I am taking my Buffalo Bills -5.5 against the Chargers. Jay has Arizona -1.5. Bagged Milk's going Miami -7. And then for our expert Scott Hastings, it's the Jets +7. It's the Vikings -4. And it is the Seahawks -5.5. As always, Scott Hastings, appreciate your time, man. We'll talk next Thursday.
Good luck, fellas. Have fun.
All right, there you go. Scott Hastings from OddsShark.com. Check him out, OddsShark.com. Your spot, whether you want to bet on football, whether you want to read a little bit more about this Tyson-Roy Jones fight, maybe college hoops, college football as well. That's going on already. OddsShark.com, they have it all. So give them a shout. Check them out. Man, this was a fun podcast. Scott Hastings had the chirps going there as well. Wow.
I like it. We've broken him down a bit.
Yeah.
We brought him down to our level.
He's in the mix. You got a nice nation beer in our bellies today. That was nice.
Yeah.
Lovely way to start the podcast.
That was a good podcast.
When are we going to do the episode? I feel like I missed out today.
The what?
Like where we drink, where we get drunk.
Give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's a good one over the Christmas break. We can do like maybe a little look back episode, you know?
Oh, like a year in review.
Yeah, a little year in review, and we can all have a little drink.
What a year to review as well.
Yeah.
And do we pick the menu for each other, or do we just get to pick our own menu? Because I'm going to start off with maybe a little nog, little Kirkland.
I'm not
nog.
a big eggnog guy.
Oh,
maybe then a little. Maybe go.
I gotta go pick up some nog because I'm gonna put up the tree here right away at my place. Nog and spice rum, it's legit.
Are you gonna get the picks, or are you gonna straight up go get like nog and then a bottle of spice rum?
I have spice rum already, so I'll just get some nog. But that pre-mixed one from Costco, is that the one you're talking about, Chalmers?
It's the best.
It's unbelievably good.
It's like perfect every time. You never have to worry. They go down so fast. But Costco right now is probably not the easiest place to be going and getting it from.
No kidding.
So that was go on a Tuesday at like 10 a.m. or 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Or I found that actually Costco late at night, if you go try to plan your trip there like an hour before they close, it's actually usually pretty empty.
Oh, yeah.
There's a pro tip on heading out to Costco during quarantine times. All right. Big shout out to Quarantine Gun Guy. He gave us some good laughs. We're hoping he also gave you some good laughs, and the beers made us feel good. If you're listening to the podcast, you can shotgun along with us. I think we kind of give everyone enough time to get a beer ready. So do that, film it, tag us, and we'll send it off to Quarantine Gun Guy as well. Big shout out to Wanye, who dipped out a little early because we had Scott Hastings on the podcast, and we always love talking a little NFL sports betting with our friend Scott Hastings. Shout out to Twig and Berries. Remember, promo code NATION15 gets you 15% off. I'm wearing my nutsacks, and so is Bagged Milk. They are incredibly comfortable, and I highly recommend you get a pair. And our friends at Oodle Noodle, 10% of all in-store proceeds, they go towards a local charity. Makes your stomach happy, cures your hunger, and also does good for the local community. Episode 234 of the Real Life Podcast. It was a good one of my favorites, but it is over.
Great job on making it through the entire hour of the Real Life Podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcast from.